हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam study session. Let's start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यां नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे. पाहि पाहि महायोगीन् देवदेव जगत्पते नान्यं त्वादभयं पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परम्. कृष्ण कृष्ण महाबाहो भक्तानामभयङ्करा त्वमेको धैर्यमानानाम् अपवर्गोऽसि संश्रुतेः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरदुषे नमः. पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते. तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यमीश्वरं. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. आजानुलम्बितौ भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वाम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ. आराध्य भगवान् ब्रजेशतनया सद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गे नवकल्पिता. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamavalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabho Armatamidam Tatra Dharana Para Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taralye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha आई दीन दयाद्र नाथ हे मथुरा नाथ कदा अवलोक्य से हृदयं त्वदलोक कातरं दैत्य भ्राम्यति किं करोम्यहम्. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam study session today. We are continuing from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.17. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. This chapter, we are talking about how Krishna is the source of all the incarnations. Right? Ete chamcha kala pumshaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrdayanti Yuge Yuge. The same Krishna, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Keshavadrita Meena Sharira, Keshavadrita Shukara Rupa. So that Keshava, that Krishna, who is the avatari, who is the source of all the incarnations, he appears time and again in various yugas. He comes to fulfill certain purposes, sometimes as a fish incarnation, sometimes as a boar incarnation, sometimes as a tortoise, and sometimes as a half man, half lion, sometimes as a a very what do you call a very nice king, who rules a kingdom very nicely, like King Prithu. Like that, several incarnations are there. Not just the 10 which are mentioned in the Dashavatara Stotra by Jayadeva Goswami. Those are only the prominent incarnations which Jayadeva Goswami chose to give in his Dashavatara Stotra. But the incarnations of the Lord are so many that even Anantashesh is not able to count the incarnations of the Lord. Just like the waves in the ocean cannot be counted, the Lord's incarnations also cannot be counted. Because as we are talking now about these incarnations of the Lord, like today morning we were speaking about Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is also an incarnation of the Lord, right? The Pancha Tattva, right? The Lord incarnated in the form of Pancha Tattva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, and Srivas Thakur. That is also an incarnation of the Lord. The Lord has incarnated in 5 forms in Kali Yuga. Generally, the Lord incarnates in 4 forms: Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maya, Sudarshanji, right? Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, right? Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Sudarshanji, like that. So, the Lord Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, like that, the Lord incarnates in various forms according to the need of the time, according to the need of the hour, according to whatever he wants to accomplish. Right? Balaram is also an incarnation of the Lord. Right? Lord Ram is also the incarnation of the Lord. Narsingha is also an incarnation of the Lord. Buddha is also the incarnation of the Lord. So, just to satisfy certain purposes, the Supreme Lord Keshava, Krishna, incarnates into several incarnations through the Karanadakshaya Vishnu, Garbhadakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Right? Through the Purusha avatars, Krishna incarnates. Right? But the Purna Purushottam Bhagavan is Krishna himself. Right? Because he is the Stotra. He is the source of all the incarnations. Right? That's why Ete Chamcha Kalapumsha. There may be several Amsha, Swamsha, etc., etc. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Right? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the original, we can say. Right? Prabhupada gives an analogy in Bhagavatam itself. How one candle lights several other candles. Right? All the Vishnu Tattvas are like the other candles. You're also as bright as the original candle. Right? It's not, we cannot say that the other candles, the other Vishnu avatars are less powerful. No, they display as much power as is required to fulfill the purpose of the incarnation. Right? But Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Right? Krishna is the source of the incarnations. When Krishna appears as Krishna, right, the sweetness that was experienced in Krishna Leela, right, was not experienced in any other avatar, because Krishna is Purna Purushottam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation happened because Krishna himself felt, three things that he himself wanted to learn for himself, right? What is that? What is the quality in me that Srimati Radharani wants to serve me so well? What is the glory of service, right? What is the glory of devotional service? That the person who is rendering service to me is getting more pleasure than I, being the served. The servitor is getting more pleasure than me. And the glory of Srimati Radharani's service and love. Right? To understand these 3 things, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself incarnated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, as much power and as much mercy is given according to the purpose of the incarnation. However, Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are non-different. Krishna is avatari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also avatari, right? Although he came as an avatar, he is a Channa avatar. He did not like to be called as a Supreme Lord. When anybody said, "Oh, you are Vishnu," immediately he will close his ears and say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. He will call out the names of Vishnu, saying that I am not Vishnu, I am calling out the names of Vishnu. Why? Because he did not want anybody in this Kali Yuga to claim themselves as God. Right? What is the best position? The best position is Gopi Pardu, Padekamalyor, Dasa, 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 Anudasa. To be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. 7 times. Kulashekara Maharaj was saying. 7 times, right? If you are the servant of 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 the servant, then our position is secure. Then we can easily be the recipients of the Lord's mercy, because we will please so many acharyas of our Guru Parampara, so many of our Siksha Gurus. When we please, by their mercy, we will be able to please Krishna, because we don't know how to please Krishna, but we know how to please our Siksha Gurus, right? Our Siksha Gurus will tell us. You don't even have to ask them most of the times. They will tell us you're going wrong here, right? You should correct yourself here, right? We don't even have to ask them. They are so merciful that they want us to be always in the right path. So when we please our Siksha Gurus, when we please our Diksha Guru, and we please the Siksha Gurus who help us please our Diksha Guru, right? Most of the times we don't even have so much of close association with our Diksha Guru. But when we please our Siksha Gurus who help us understand the mood and the mission of our Diksha Guru, then we please our Diksha Guru, and in this way we please all of the acharyas of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara, and then we please Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna. So that is a path that has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. All right, let's quickly move on to our today's verse. We're going to start from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.17. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Okay, let's ask Sridhar Prabhu, please read. Dhanvantaram dvadashamam trayodashamam evacha apayat asuran anyan mahinya mohayan striyam. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam Mataji. Dhanvantaram dvadasamam trayodasamam evacha apayat suran anyan mohinya mohayan striya. Synonymous Prabhupada. Dhanvantaram, the incarnation of Godhead named Dhanvantari. Dvadasamam, the 12th in the line. Trayodasamam, the 13th in the line. Eva, certainly. Cha, and Abhayat, gave to drink. Suran, the demigods. Anyan, others. Mohinya, by charming beauty. Mohanyam, alluring. Sreya, the form of woman. Translation by Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari, and in the 13th as allured the Ashrit by charming beauty of a woman, and gave nectar to the demigods to drink. Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, you can continue. Next verse. Text 18.
Chadurdasam Narasimham Piprat Daityandrujitam Dadhara Karajait Purav Erakam Gadakrityatha. Ade Hare Krishna. Synonymous. Chadurdasam, the 14th in the line. Narasimham, the incarnation of Lord of man and of lion. Begat advantage. Daitya Indram, the king of Astadis. Ujjidam, strongly built. Dadara, bifurcated. Garjanya, by the Niles. Urda, on the lap. Iragam, Grants, Karagit, Carpenter, Yatra, the just like. Translation by Prabhupada. In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Nirsimha by bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakasipu with his nail, just as a carpenter pieces the can. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, these are the various incarnations of the Lord. So we'll be looking at 12th, 13th, 14th. Of course, we'll be looking at several verses. So 12, 13, 14 is talking about Dhanvantari, right? When the last time we saw this Shukara Rupa, right? The Lord appeared in the form of a boar to actually lift the earth and put it back in its orbit, right? And then the churning of the ocean happened, right? Where Vasuki was used as a rod, right? To churn the ocean. And when the churning of the ocean happened, right? Both the demons and the demigods were on either side of Vasuki, and they were pulling, the ropes of, the Vasuki, the snake, right? The first several items came out, right? One of the appearances from that churning was Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri is the goddess of, is the lord of medicine, right? We have this Ayurveda, right? These days, right? It has its origin from Lord Dhanvantri, right? That's why Ayurveda is said to be the medicines are said to be what is this prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. That's why Ayurvedic medicine never work if we don't have a proper diet, right? Yukta ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmashu yukta swapnava bodhasya yoga bhavati dukkha. So the Ayurvedic medicines also work in this principle only. That means we should be regulated in our eating, we should be regulated in our sleeping, in our work, and in our recreation. Only then the Ayurvedic medicines will work. It doesn't work like allopathic medicines. You eat whatever you want and then you just put a pill inside your mouth. You know what is happening, right? And sometimes it will work and sometimes it will, and most of the times it will cause side effects, which are even worse than the problem, right? So in this way, what is prescribed in the Shastras, of course, any knowledge, even this material knowledge has its jada or root in the spiritual knowledge, right? But how much of it are we retaining as it is, right? And how many of it are mental speculation? It all depends on that. That's why sometimes allopathic medicines don't work, right? One of the devotees was saying, she had come to Delhi because her daughter was unwell. She had some throat problem. They went to a hospital. They got a bill for 5,000 with the medicines and everything. And, diagnosis and everything. She took the medicines for 1 week to 10 days. No improvement. She took the allopathic medicines, no improvement. And then she had to go back to Oman during her holidays. And then, it could be properly diagnosed. And now she's feeling a lot better, right? So these allopathic medicines, we cannot rely. It may work, right? It is to be very effective in the short term like that, right? So of course, everything has its utility. But, the Ayurveda that we say, like that's come from Dhanvantri, right? It is said to be from the Shastras and it has long lasting effect and it has no side effects, right? The impact of using Ayurvedic medicines is that it is preventive, right? You can work the Ayurveda. They have prescribed a certain kind of foodstuffs, etc. What can you eat in, even the Chaturmas Vrata that we follow, that is also based on Ayurveda. That is also based on a science. Although the 4 months of rainy season, even the sannyasis don't travel, but they remain in one place and preach, and we have this 4, shark, curd, milk, and urad dal that we don't have. That also has its scientific reasons, right? Everything is based on proper science. It's not that, something has been given without any thought through, or, something has been thought through or not, right? Everything has its spiritual value. Of course, that is the basis of Shastras. It also has an impact on our body. It keeps our body fit so that we can practice devotional service like that. And then, when the Devas and Asuras were having a fight over who would get the nectar, that time, Lord Vishnu, right, Krishna himself, came in the form of Mohini Murti and he attracted even Lord Shiva in that manner, right? And he charmed the demons and the demigods equally, and they were willing to hand over the pot of nectar to our Mohini Murti. Okay, devotees, just give me a second. Okay, sorry. Hare Krishna. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so all of these incarnations of the Lord, like Mohini Murti we're talking about, right? Mohini Murti could even attract Lord Shiva, right? And the demigods and the demons were also equally attracted to the Mohini Murti. They gave the pot of nectar to Mohini Murti and said, okay, you distribute however you want, right? I have no problem. You distribute as you want. And then very nicely, Mohini Murti distributed amongst the demigods, and the demons were like looking at the beautiful form of Mohini Murti. And that's why Krishna is said to be Sarvam Akarshanati iti Krishna. Everyone is attracted to the Lord. That we will, if we are attracted to Krishna, we will easily be able to give up all our tastes for material enjoyment, taste for material objects, etc. So the more we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, the more we'll be attracted to Krishna, and the less we'll be attracted to sense gratification, to the objects of this material world. And then the next incarnation, 14th incarnation is Keshavatrita Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Right? We all know why Nrsimhadev appeared. Nrsimhadev appeared not to kill Hiranyakashipu, but to protect Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj told, right, when Hiranyakashipu asked, is your Lord there in this pillar? You are saying he's everywhere. Is he there in this pillar? And Prahlad Maharaj could already see in the pillar, within the pillar, that the Nrsimhadev is already preparing to come out, that ferocious form, right? Because he was already very angry that this Hiranyakashipu is actually troubling his dear devotee Prahlad, right? And when Prahlad had to just say, yes, he is there, and then when he struck the mace on the pillar, Nrsimhadev appeared. And you all know how Nrsimhadev is given by Brahmaji, neither inside the house nor outside the house, not using any weapons, not, not in the air, not in the earth, not in the water, right? Neither inside the house nor outside the house, not in the air, sea, water, etc. So many conditions that Hiranyakashipu had demanded, right? Thinking himself very, very powerful, right? That he can defeat Brahmaji, right? Because Brahma told him, I cannot give you immortality because I myself don't have immortality. And Hiranyakashipu thought he was very smart, and he was very powerful. It is said that by his, he could just shake his eyebrow, and all of the demigods would be at his, at his beck and call, asking him, okay, what do you want? What do you want us to do? We will do everything, whatever you want, etc. So like that, he had all of the demigods under, in his beck and call, like that, very, very powerful, right? Even for that, Hiranyakashipu, he could not kill his own son, right? He tried so much, right? So, Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rake Ke. However powerful anybody may be, if one is sheltered with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nobody can even, they say, Baal bhi baka nahi kar sakte, like that, right? Nobody can cause any kind of tiny damage also to a devotee who surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So, Lord Nrsimhadev appeared not for Hiranyakashipu, right? He could have caused one coronavirus to kill Hiranyakashipu. Right? Why did he come? He came to have this loving exchange with Prahlad Maharaj. He came to prove Prahlad Maharaj's words true. Kaunteya prati janihi nami bhaktaha pranashyati. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, if my devotee says something, I will come. Right? And wherever I am, whatever I am doing, I will leave everything and come for the sake of my devotee. Right? Draupadi called, Krishna came. Right. So anywhere and everywhere. And Krishna will continue there also, and Krishna will be here also. Right? Krishna is not having that constraint that he can be in only one place. Right? Krishna can expand himself 16,000 or 100 Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, sorry, devotees, something wrong with my internet. Okay, I'm on data, so I hope this will work. All right. So, what were we saying? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So, we're talking about 15th incarnation. 15th incarnation is Lord appeared as Vamanade. We're talking about how Bali Maharaj gave everything, surrendered everything to Vamanade, who actually give it to the gods. So it seems like the gods. But who was ultimately the beneficiary of this pastime? Right? It's Bali Maharaj himself to the Lord, and he got something which even the Devatas didn't get. The Devatas got only planets. But Bali Maharaj actually got the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? He pleased the Supreme to Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj gave the Lord gave himself to Bali Maharaj, right? He said, I will come and stay in your planet as your doorkeeper. So that is the loving interaction between Bali Maharaj and Vamanadev. It looks like Vamanadev is, so mercilessly took away everything from Bali Maharaj and gave everything to the Devatas, right? But things are not as they seem externally to our eyes. Right? Sometimes we think that we've lost. Right? Sometimes even in the pastime of Duryodhana and Arjuna, they go to Krishna. Right? It seems like Duryodhana has got a good deal. He's got the entire, Narayani Sena, the Akshauni Sena. Right? And poor Arjuna, although he came first to meet Krishna, although Krishna saw him first, what happened? He had to, although he got the first choice, right? Duryodhana was so happy. God, why did the first choice go to Arjuna? What did he ask Narayani Sena? Right? So when we see with our external eyes, we only go by the quantity, number of, soldiers, senas, right? That externally is what we see, right? But what do the devotees see? What did Arjuna see? Arjuna said, wherever you are, Krishna, right? Whatever you are giving, even though you're not taking any weapons, even though you're not going to fight in the war, I want you to be in my side. Right? That time it was not even determined that Krishna is going to be the charioteer. Arjuna only said, Krishna, I want you. Right? Whatever you do or you don't do is okay. So that is the desire of the devotee. A devotee simply wants what the Lord wants. Right? Where the devotee always wants to be on the Lord's side. Right? I was hearing a Prabhupada's lecture in the morning today. Right? Prabhupada is saying, when Vyasadeva saw, he saw that Krishna, he saw Lord Krishna, and he also saw Maya Devi. Maya Devi was behind Krishna. So whenever we are in the Krishna side, Maya cannot attack us. But when we go behind Krishna, that means we take on the opposite side of Krishna, then we'll be allured by Maya. Like that. But in this case, Arjuna was very intelligent. Arjuna said, Krishna, I want you by my side. It's okay if you don't take any weapon. It's okay you don't fight any war. Similarly, Bali Maharaj told, if this is the Supreme Lord, I want to give everything to him. After all, the Lord only has given everything to me. Right? If the Lord wants to take it back, so let him take it back. That is the consciousness of a devotee. A devotee does not want to enjoy. A devotee wants to do yukta vairagya, utilize everything. A devotee will not say no to anything. If somebody is giving a donation of 1 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakhs, a devotee will happily, take it with both hands and utilize it in the service of the Lord. Right? But if the devotee does not even have a farthing, a devotee does not worry. Whatever I have my body, I have my hands, I have my eyes, I have my ears, I have my nose, I have my mouth, I will utilize this now in the service of the Lord. Right? That is Yukta Vairagya. Anashakyasya Vishayan Yataham Upayunjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. So devotee is not attached to anything material, however, utilizes everything material, everything in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But even if there is no object that is available, still he continues with whatever he has. Whatever little he may have, he will engage that in the service of the Lord. And because of that, devotees capture the Lord in their heart. Because there is no condition attached. Krishna, you give me anything, I will use in your service. You don't give me anything, whatever I have, I will use in your service. So the 15th avatar we are going to read right now is the avatar of Vamana Deva, where Krishna appears as a dwarf Brahmana. Okay, devotees can raise your hands again. I can see Anusha Mataji's hand up. Other devotees who want to read may raise your hands. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Panchadasham Vamanakam Kritva Dadvaram Balhe Padatrayam Yachamana Pratyaditsu Stri Pishtapam. Synonyms: Panchadasham, the 15th in the line. Vamanakam, the dwarf Brahmana. Kritva, by assumption of. Agat, Agat, went. Advaram, arena of sacrifice. Bale, of King Bali. Padatrayam, 3 steps only. Yachamana, begging. Pratyadichu, willing at the heart to return. Tripishtapham, the king of the 3 planetary systems. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, Vaman, and visited the arena of sacrifice arranged by Maharaja Bali. Although at heart he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems, he simply asked for a donation of 3 steps of land. Purport: the Almighty God can bestow upon anyone the kingdom of the universe from a very small beginning, and similarly, he can take away the kingdom of the universe on the plea of begging a small piece of land. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Continue, Mataji. Text 20. Avatare Shodashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nrupan Risapta Kritava Kupito Nishatram Agaron Mahim. Actually, I was thinking, I was just reminded of His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj class. I was hearing his class. He was mentioning in his class, devotees are like Vamanadev. They come to ask, they say that, okay, you just take this small book, you just chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It takes only 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. No, you don't have to change anything in your life, right? You simply have to chant Hare Krishna. It will take about 7 to 8 minutes. You just have to read this book whenever you have time, right? Before you go to sleep, just 10 minutes. Like that. But then, he was saying, devotees came to me also like that only. I just had to just give 10 minutes of my time to the Supreme Lord, either to chant his holy names or read Bhagavad Gita like that. But, as time passed, I realized that I didn't want to do anything else other than this chanting of Hare Krishna and reading Srila Prabhupada's books and Bhagavad Gita. Right? So he told that devotees are like Vamanadev. They come asking for 3 steps of land and then they take over your entire life. You don't know when you have dedicated your entire life to Srila Prabhupada. Initially, you wanted to start off only with 5 minutes of chanting Hare Krishna or 5 minutes of the study of Bhagavad Gita, and then when we dedicate our entire lives to Prabhupada, we didn't know. So I was just thinking of that, when we are reading this pastime of Vamanadev. His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj ki jai, Vamanadev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Text number 20. Anusha Mataji, you there?
Yes, screen is just now visible, Mataji. Sorry.
Avatare
Shodashame Pashyan Brahma Druho Nripan Trisapta Kritava Kupito Nikshatra Makaron Mahim. Synonyms: Avatare, in the incarnation of the Lord. Shodasame, the 16th. Pashyan, seeing. Brahma Druha, disobedient to the orders of the Brahmanas. Nripan, the kingly order. Trisapta, thrice 7 times. Kritva, had done. Kupita, being engaged. Ni, negation. Shatram, the administrative class. Akarot, did perform. Mahim, the earth. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord, as Bhrigupati, annihilated the administrative class Kshatriyas 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class. Purport: the Kshatriyas, or the administrative class of men, are expected to rule the planet by the direction of the intelligent class of men, who give direction to the rulers in terms of the standard Shastras or the books of revealed knowledge. The rulers carry on the administration according to that direction. Whenever there is disobedience on the part of the Kshatriyas or the administrative class against the orders of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post and arrangement is made for better administration.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So yesterday also we were reading about Prithu Maharaj incarnation, right? When that Maharaja Vena, right? When he was ruling without any, without any Vedic injunction, right? He was busy, stealing, robbing, and everything. He was ruling the kingdom, but he was not actually administering the kingdom in the way that is prescribed in the Shastras. That time, what did the Brahminical class of men do? They simply they simply killed Maharaja Vena, not with any weapon, right? They simply, uttered a mantra and that made King Vena die. And then his body was churned. And in this way, King Prithu, right, who was incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was born. Right? We were reading it. The previous session or previous to that, right? So the administrative classes of men or the Kshatriyas are supposed to take care of all the living entities under their kingdom, right? We were talking also at that time. We were also talking about how Parikshit Maharaj was even feeling mercy, for a bull, that is crying, a cow that is crying, and a bull that is standing on one leg, to find out what is wrong. How can I help this bull? How can I help this cow? Right? So that is the way these various Kshatriyas ruled their kingdom. Right? They held themselves responsible for the well-being of all the living entities in their kingdom. It's not that, you get elected and then you do what you like to fulfill your own sense gratificatory purposes. That was not the at least the job profile of a Kshatriya. The job profile of a Kshatriya was that Shata Triyate iti Kshatriya, right? Shat Triyate iti Kshatriya. That means to give protection. So the Kshatriya was to give protection to everybody, even an ant or an insect or an animal or a bird or a beast or a human being, of course, right? Who are within his kingdom, right? Kshatriya is supposed to give protection, right? So that is the meaning of the word Kshatriya. So in this case, we see how Parashuram, right? Keshavadrita Brigupati Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare, right? He killed 21 lineage of kings, right? Because they actually killed his father in an inappropriate way. So to teach a lesson, right? To establish that principle of how a Kshatriya should actually protect, and not cause, to establish dharma. The king has to rule to establish dharma, right? The Parashuram actually killed so many of the Kshatriya kings, right? Because they unjustly killed his father. Right. So for that purpose, he actually killed 21 generations. He is also an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right, let's move ahead. Text number 21. Okay. Who will read? 1 second. Yeah. Leela Nandini Mataji. And then Deval Mataji can read. Yes. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Tata Saptadashe Jada. Tata Saptad 21 is just 21. Tata Saptadashe Jada Satyavatyam Parasarat Chakre Vedadaro Shakha Drishtva Pumso Ulpamedasa. Synonyms: Tata, thereafter, Saptadase, in the 17th incarnation, Jada advented Satyavatyam in the womb of Satyavati, Parasarat by Parashara Muni, Chakre prepared Vedadaro of the desired tree of the Vedas, Shakha branches, Drishtva be seeing, Pumsa the people in general, Alpamedas less intelligent. Translation and purport by Sri Laisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of God, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parashara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that the people in general were less intelligent. Originally, the Veda is one, but Srila Vyasadeva divided the original Veda into four, namely Sama, Yajur, Rik, Adharma, and then again they were explained in different branches like the Puranas and Mahabharata. Vedic language and the subject matter are very difficult for ordinary men. They are understood by the highly intelligent and self-realized Brahmanas, but the present age of Kali is full of ignorant men. Even those who are born by a Brahmana father are in the present age no better than the Shudras or the women. The twice born men, namely the Brahmana, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, are expected to undergo a cultural purificatory process known as samskaras. But because of the bad influence of the present age, the so-called members of the Brahmana and other high-order families are no longer highly cultured. They are called the Dijabandhus, or the friends and family members of the twice born. But these Dijabandhus are classified among the Shudras and the Shudras and the women. Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into various branches and sub-branches for the sake of the less intelligent classes like the Dijabandhus, Shudras and women. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, whenever we speak of Dvijabandhu, we think of Ashwathama, right? Born of a Brahmana father, Dronacharya, right? What did he do? He attempted to kill the five sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping, which even Duryodhana did not like it, right? Duryodhana himself told, what is this? This is not the way war has to be fought. He was an embodiment of adharma, right? Even he had some basic, which Ashwathama also, of course, he didn't know. Ashwathama thought that they were the Pandavas, actually, but they were the sons of the Pandavas, right? The sons of Draupadi. So, Ashwathama, he's called a Dvija Bandhu, right? Dvija Bandhu or Brahma Bandhu. That means, although born in a Brahminical family, it does not have the qualities of a Brahmana, right? Satyam, Saucham, Daya, Tapa, and all of these qualities of a Brahmana, when a person does not have, then although born in Kali Yuga, it's Kalo Shudra Sambhava. That's why in Kali Yuga there are always sanskaras, right? You have the Pumsavana samskara, right? From before the child is born also. You have the various Garbhodana samskara, Pumsavana samskara, right? Then you have the Simantanayana samskara. And then after the child is born, you have the Namakarana samskara. Then you have the Vidyaramba. Then you have the Annaprashna, and like so many, right? And even when death takes place, there is also a samskara, right? So in this way, the final rites until the birth till the death, right? Even after death, right? The body is also, burnt in the fire, and that's also sanskara, right? What are these sanskaras? Sanskaras enable us to get better destination, right? Will enable us to develop, to make our consciousness better than what it is, right? So that we may be able to look at, even if only if we know the goal, we can work towards it, right? Like when we should know the destination, right? So the Brahmanas are generally considered the head of the society, right? Of course, Vaishnavas even higher than the Brahmanas, because the Brahmanas are well read in the Shastras. When you read the Shastras, what happens? Our intelligence gets purified. We get the right discrimination power to know at least, right? To do it is the second step. To know at least what is right, what is wrong, what should I do, what should I not do. At least that much intelligence we get. And then with that intelligence, we have to direct the mind to do this. We have to direct the mind. The direct mind has to direct the senses, right? To control the mind and to make our mind the best friend, we also have to do meditation. That's why along with the study of the Shastras, we purify our intelligence. Then mantra trayate iti mantra. Mana trayate iti mantra. That means our mind is controlled, and the mind will become our best friend only when we engage in mantra meditation. When we are able to sit down, focus our mind in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then the mind will become our best friend. The mind will listen to the intelligence to engage in devotional service, and the mind will engage the senses in performing various devotional services, whether it is making garland for the Lord, cooking for the Lord, abhishek of the Lord, arati of the Lord, offering obeisances to the Lord, doing parikrama, going on Navadvipandal Parikrama, etc. That reminds me, Panchatattva Seva Challenge begins from today. Today is 4th of February, Advaita Acharya's appearance day, till the 10th of February 2025, which is Nityananda Triyodashi, right? We have this 7 days, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 7 days Panchatattva Seva Challenge, completely online. We're going to do Navadvipandal Parikrama. We're going to hear the various lectures of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, Shri Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Chandramouli Swami Maharaj, right? So many wonderful activities will be given, which you can do from the comforts of our home. I would request everyone, I posted the link in Medavini group, right? Please do join that link and do take part. And we'll also get a certificate, which is signed by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Shri Guru Maharaj. So very well organized, and we have to be safe and happily in the comforts of our home. We can do and we can please our gurus, right? So in that way, this is given. So let's take advantage of this opportunity and take part in the Panchatattva Seva Challenge, right? So what were we saying? Yeah, so Dvija Bandhus means they are born in the Brahminical family. Kalau is Shudra Sambhava. But so those of us who are at least born in the Brahminical families, we try to follow these samskaras, right? And by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, even if you are born in a Shudra family, if you develop good qualities, if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, follow the 4 clear principles, right? Then Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they have enunciated a formula wherein which even a Shudra is initiated into becoming a Brahmana, right? And once he is initiated into the Brahminical mantras, the Gayatri mantras, then he is even better than a Brahmana who's born in a Brahminical family, right? Because he's got all the qualities of a Brahmana, right? Brahman jana iti Brahmana. A Brahmana means, the first and foremost definition of a Brahmana means you should understand who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should know the Sambandha Tattva, the Abhideya Tattva, and the Prayojana Tattva. If he knows that only, he's a Brahmana, right? If he understands only Brahman, then also he may be called a Brahmana because he engages in the study of the Shastras, right? He engages in, in chanting the Gayatri Mantra, etc. But that's why Vaishnava is even better, because a Vaishnava does not only have knowledge, he also applies that knowledge, right? Because he understands the Shastras, he not only practices Krishna consciousness, he gives Krishna consciousness to others. So that is why a Brahmana is said to be the leader of the society, but a Vaishnava is said to be even greater than a Brahmana. Right? So in that way, they are all at least aspiring, right, to be Vaishnavas, to be following these regulative principles and doing Janma Sarthakari Kara Paropakar. We are trying to practice Krishna consciousness, also trying to give, to try our best to give Krishna to others, right? Somebody else gave Krishna to us, right, by giving their time, giving their energy. So it is out of gratitude, what do? We thank them, we are eternally grateful to them. We also want to give Krishna to others to the extent of our limited capacity. So like that. So why did I come here? Yeah, because this is talking about Dvija Bandhus, right? This verse is talking about Dvija Bandhus, right? Who are the Dvija Bandhus? Dvija Bandhus are those born in the Brahminical families but don't have the quality, don't have the qualities of the Brahmins, right? You're talking about the incarnation of Vyasadeva. So for such people, right, who are Brahma Bandhus, who are of this Kali Yuga, right? What did Vedavyas do? He actually he split the Rig Veda into Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. He gave Mahabharata, especially for the less intelligent class, right? It's not talking about women and Shudras, right? But in Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra, right? So in this way, because everybody is a Shudra, nobody understands the scriptures. Vedavyasji, whose incarnation is spoken about in this verse, he actually gave this Mahabharata, right? Very wonderful that anybody who does not understand any Shastras also, they can understand, how Draupadi surrendered to the Lord, how Krishna came to protect Draupadi, right? These are all lessons for our life, right? If we are stuck in a situation, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? We have to supposed to call out to Krishna in all helplessness, right? I was hearing a devotee's lecture. He was saying, it is okay. It is okay to be helpless, right? Sometimes you don't know what to do. We are just simply surrendering to the Lord, right? It is okay to be helpless, but we should not become hopeless, right? Why a devotee is never hopeless. A devotee may become helpless, or a devotee is always helpless because he is always surrendered to the Lord, but a devotee is never hopeless. Why? Because a devotee is always depending on the protection given to him by the Lord. A devotee always thinks Krishna is protecting me at all times. So devotee is helpless, but he is never hopeless. So we should all aspire for this. Even if you are sometimes feeling very miserable, oh, why am I going through this? How do I come out of this? And we should understand, yes, I am helpless, but I am not hopeless, right? Krishna is ever protecting me, right? And I always think of Parikshit Maharaj's Leela, right? Whenever I personally get into a difficult situation, I always think Krishna is protecting me. I'm not realizing how Krishna is protecting me right now. Maybe I will realize it in the future, right? I always tell myself, right? Krishna protected Parikshit Maharaj in the initial instance, like Mother Uttara wanted, right? But later on, it seemed like Krishna did not protect Parikshit Maharaj because he was killed by the snake bird Taksha for no fault of his. It was such a small mistake that he did by putting the snake on this Samik Rishi, and the son of Samik Rishi, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj to die within 7 days. It was too much of a punishment to handle, right? But yet Parikshit Maharaj thought, and what did he do? He immediately went to the banks of the Ganges, where Lord Krishna had personally arranged Sukadeva Goswami to be there, to give his own remembrance to Parikshit Maharaj. So this was a protection that Krishna had arranged for Parikshit Maharaj, right? So we should not think that Krishna should protect me like this only, right? Sometimes we feel hopeless, right? Why Krishna is not protecting me? At that time, we should remember these lessons, right? That is why all of these Mahabharatam and these Bhagavatam stories are written. So that even though I am a Shudra, right? At least by remembering these pastimes, I understand, yes, I am not able to understand Krishna's protection right now, how he is protecting me. But I know Krishna is protecting me. I know I can surrender to the Supreme Lord. What is that? Rakshishyatiti Vishwaso. Right? You have complete faith that Krishna will always protect me. Right? One of the limbs of Sharanagati, as given by Srila Prabhupada in 18.65 and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. When we surrender to the Lord, we may feel helpless. We may feel lacking help at any time. But we will not feel hopeless, and that hope will enable us to cross over that situation with flying colors by surrendering out to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the incarnation of Srila Vyasadeva, who has written this Mahabharata, who has enabled us to remember these pastimes and thereby surrender to Krishna When life is taking us through journeys which are not so nice, which are not so happy, which are not as per our plan, then we can surrender to the Lord like that. All right, text number 22, last verse for today. Deval Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Just a moment. Yeah. Naradevattvamapanna surakarya chikirshaya samudra nigrahadini chakre viryanyatah param. Synonyms: Nara, human being; Devatvam, divinity; Apannaha, having assumed the form of; Sura, the demigods; Karya, activities; Chikirshaya, for the purpose of performing; Samudra, the Indian Ocean; Nigraha Adini, controlling, etc.; Chakre, did perform; Viryani, superhuman prowess; Ataf Param, thereafter. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Ram. In order to perform some pleasing work for the demigods, he exhibited superhuman powers by controlling the Indian Ocean and then killing the atheist king Ravana, who was on the other side of the sea. The personality of Godhead, Sri Rama, assumed the form of a human being and appeared on the earth for the purpose of doing some pleasing work for the demigods or the administrative personalities to maintain the order of the universe. Sometimes great demons and atheists like Ravan and Hiranyakashipu and many others become very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. For example, the attempt to fly to other planets by material means is a challenge to the established order. The conditions of each and every planet are different, and different classes of human beings are accommodated there for particular purposes mentioned in the codes of the Lord. But puffed up by tiny success and material advancement, sometimes the godless materialists challenge the existence of God. Ravana was one of them, and he wanted to deport ordinary men to the planet of Indra, heaven, by material means without consideration of the necessary qualifications. He wanted a staircase to be built up directly reaching the heavenly planet, so that people might not be required to undergo the routine of pious work necessary to enter that planet. He also wanted to perform other acts against the established rule of the Lord. He even challenged the authority of Sri Rama, the personality of Godhead, and kidnapped his wife Sita for Sita. Of course, Lord Rama came to chastise this atheist, answering the prayer and desire of the demigods. He therefore took up the challenge of Ravana, and the complete activity is the subject matter of the Ramayana. Because Lord Ramchandra was the personality of Godhead, he exhibited superhuman activities which no human being, including the materially advanced Ravana, could perform. Lord Ramchandra performed a royal road on the Indian Ocean with, Ramchandra prepared a royal road on the Indian Ocean with stones that floated on the water. The modern scientists have done research in the area of weightlessness, but it is not possible to bring in weightlessness anywhere and everywhere. But because weightlessness is a creation of the Lord by which he can make the gigantic planets fly and float in the air, he made the stones even within this earth to be weightless and prepared a stone bridge on the sea without any supporting pillar. That is a display of the power of God. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
So you all know the pastime of Lord Ram, isn't it? Keshavadreta Rama Sharira Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare. So Kesha appeared as Lord Sri Ram, right? We know the entire pastime of Lord Ram, and it's so endearing, right? How Lord Ram, they said that Lord Ram used to go and be with Ayodhya Vasis and simply listen, and he used to cry with the as a supreme personality of Godhead. It is not so surprising that he made the stones to float in the Indian Ocean, or he does some powerful things, right? Some instances like how he did the final rites for Jatayu, right? He not even do for his own father. He did for Jatayu because Jatayu sacrificed his life in trying to protect Sita. We understand that it is not great to have a lot of powers. Right? Sometimes we think, if I were so good in all of these things, I could be such a wonderful preacher. I can do this, etc. Right? Jatayu didn't have anything. Right? He was such an old vulture whose wings were also cut off. But yet, he just wanted that Muhurta to pass. He just wanted to fight. Show his best. So simply the Lord is pleased by our endeavor to serve him. When we give our best to serve the Lord is pleased with us. We don't have to be exceptionally talented or, extremely skillful. Only then we can serve the Lord, right? If we have some talents or skill which are given to us by the Lord, of course, we should utilize that in serving the Lord. But if we don't have anything, or at least we've not discovered anything, that's also okay. Whatever we know, whatever little we can do, let us do it for the Lord. When we do it in that mood, of surrendering everything, whatever best I have, whatever I have, right? Vidurani offered not even the banana. She offered only the chilka of the banana. The peel only she offered because of her love for the Lord, right? And Krishna accepted that, and we also have this beautiful pastime, Shabari, right? She tasted that fruit and she gave to Lord Ram, and Lord Ram found it, very wonderful, right? Although everyone else found that, that offensive, but the Lord is Bhavagrahi. The Lord only sees what is your intention behind what you're doing. And I heard in one lecture, one of the devotees was mentioning the Lord is Bhavagrahi. That means not only that the Lord sees our intention, even if apparently we are doing something wrong, but if you're doing something right, even if our intentions are wrong, like for example, Putana, her intentions were bad. She was sent by Kamsa to kill the Lord. Yet her action was she breastfed the Lord. And the Lord takes the action into account doing something good. When you're serving the Lord, even with malicious intentions. And even if you have good intentions and you're not able to really do, even then the Lord sees our intentions, not the actions. So the Lord sees, even if one of them is positive, the Lord sees that one positive and enables us to progress in devotional service. Such is the merciful nature of our Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Ram, and Krishna, who is the source of all of these incarnations, right? So what is it we need to do? We simply need to follow the instructions of our gurus and simply serve Krishna with whatever limited capacity, whatever limited abilities, whatever limited strengths we have, right? I was hearing somebody's lecture, or I don't know whom I heard, but we need not be the best, but we need to give our best. We need to be our best, right? Am I giving the best of what I have in the service of the Lord? That is what Krishna sees, right? I was hearing somebody was saying this. I don't remember, maybe a long time back I heard this. If we give 100 rupees, I have $1 million in our pocket. We give $100 and Krishna will say how much you're holding back, right? But if you have 100 rupees and you're already giving that 100 rupees, or you're keeping only a little bit, what is for your personal sustenance, the Lord values at 10 rupees, 10 out of 100, more than 100 out of a million, right? Because the Lord does not see what you are giving. The Lord is not in need of the money. The Lord is not in need of 10 rupees, 100 rupees, 1 million, 1 billion. The Lord is in need to see how much love you have for the Lord. How much are you willing to sacrifice for the Lord? Are you willing to sacrifice your morning sleep for me? It is very nice. It's very nice to sleep early in the morning. Are you willing to sacrifice your sleep for me? Are you willing to sacrifice the TV serials for me? Are you willing to sacrifice the cricket match for me? Are you willing to sacrifice the sense enjoyment, right, for my sake? Is your love for me more than your love for all these material things? That is all we need to tell the Lord. Lord, you are number one, right? Ananya chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Krishna says, I will carry what you don't have, and I will maintain what you have, right? Don't worry about those things, right? Of course, we have to do our swadharma, right? We cannot wait and, okay, Krishna, I will take care of my daily bread. That's why Prabhupada said, don't think Krishna is your father. Then you will say, okay, Krishna, I want this, I want this, I want this. We'll make a laundry list for Krishna to get for us. Right way, Krishna. Prabhupada said, make Krishna your son. What will you do? You will sacrifice. What does a mother do? A mother will sacrifice, but there is only one roti. The mother will want to give that roti to the child. Right? Let my child enjoy this roti. I don't want the roti. I'm not hungry. Isn't it? That is what, that bhava we need to develop to the Lord. That love of a mother. We should understand that Krishna is 100 million times, just for, some kind of calculation, much, unlimitedly more merciful than millions of mothers, right? So we need to reciprocate to the Lord, right? As much as a mother at least reciprocates with her own child, right? And when we reciprocate with the Lord like that, we will be able to reciprocate with everybody in this world, be it our husband or our children or our relatives or our family or our society, our community, our country, right? Vasudeva Kudumbakam, right? We'll be able to reciprocate with everybody, satisfy everybody, if you're able to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mamaivaamsho jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Right? If you please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of his amshas, right? All of his parts and parcels will be pleased, right? So let us try to please our gurus. If you please our gurus, we will please Krishna. If you please Krishna, we will please everybody in this world. In this world, all the 14 planetary systems, in the spiritual world, we will please every living entity. If we at all please Lord Sri Krishna. On that note, we will end our Srimad Bhagavatam class. I thank you all for your kind patience. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we'll do quickly 2-3 minutes of Harinam Sankirtan. I request devotees to turn on your cameras. We'll see who are all tolerating us. We're already 15 minutes overdue, right? And devotees are still staying with us. So my sincere gratitude to all of you. We'll do Harinam Sankirtan and we'll see who are all the tolerant people. All of you are credited with the title of being tolerant and patient with me. Thank you so much. Amma Om Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Peshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesh Shunyavadi Satya Deshadarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaudani Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadra Jai Sudarshan Jai Bala Gopal Jai Rukmini Vithal Jai Prahlad Nrsimha Jai Lakshmi Nrsimha Jai Radha Raman Jai Radha Madhav Jai Radha Jam Sundar Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe 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 Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Goswami Jai Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा सो थैंक यू मौसमी माता जी अनुषा माता जी हरजीत माता जी चित्र कृष्ण सेवनी माता जी रजनीश प्रभु Rajeshwari Mataji and all the devotees who are not switching on your cameras. Thank you very much for joining in and staying till 2:20 with 20 minutes overboard. Please forgive me for it. We'll meet you all tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock for our Brahmurta chanting session and then meet at 1 o'clock tomorrow as we continue with the study of Krishna book. Thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premnande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, devotees. Dhanat pranams to all of you. Hare Krishna. Rajneesh Prabhu is getting ready next Monday. You're getting ready for the verse, Prabhu.